What's up, everybody? Sitting out here with my dog Collie. Just went on a run, and I just wanted to start what's going to be a short documentary. I'm just running at my house. Obviously, I live in a townhouse, as you can tell, and I'm just surrounded by walls everywhere. So we ran down to the edge of our street where the hill drops down and you can overlook the valley of Salt Lake, and there was a bunch of deer down there. We were running alongside the deer and having a good time, finally feeling like we're free, you know, out in the open, not surrounded by anything man-made within the next, within 10 feet. So, we're running down this hill and this lady steps out of her back door and, "What the hell are you doing letting your dog chase those deer?" And it didn't occur to me that Collie was even chasing the deer. We were just kind of running with them. But in her mind, we were chasing them and, trying to be vicious and cruel to them. And, obviously that wasn't our intention. Our intention was just to go out, have a good time, and run and be wild like they are. Be free for a second. And it led me to feel like I'm trapped and I'm just stuck right here, that I can't get out of these four walls or these walls of houses that just surround me. And if you could see far enough out into the distance, there's just mountains, and I've got trees by me and stuff like that, but it's just so hard to feel natural. Not in like the naturalistic sense of the word, being eating, out of the earth, but really just being on the earth. Like, I'm not even sitting on the earth, I'm sitting on cement, and everything that I touch is man-made, and there's just something that's about being in nature that's so freeing. But I grew up here, and obviously this is what people experience in California. Is California got overpopulated, and now we're experiencing it here in Utah. And it's hard because I don't really want to move out of the state that I grew up in, but it's impossible for us to find land that's affordably enough that we could build a proper house on it to, live within the confines of the century that we're in. So we're kind of stuck with what we have, and the irony is, we just keep building. And I'm not like anti-build or anti-development, because that's what I do. I'm a general contractor, solar contractor. I install solar, I build houses, build infrastructure in general. But there's a certain point at which, you gotta provide some free space, which is super ironic, because in this HOA that I live in, I was running on the only segmented place that's designated quote-unquote free space, or it was the only way they could build this complex is because you have to build a certain amount of free space, and that free space is coagulated by the trapped feeling because of the people's mindset that I live around. It's, hey, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. And honestly, I think that lady wasn't really trying to get me. It's just that I don't think she had anything better to do. And honestly, I didn't have anything better to do but to go running. So I can't blame her, but I can't help but feel the anxiety and stress that she caused by letting her mouth run wild and not asking, with a willingness to listen to what I was saying, to what I was doing. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm running." And she goes, "Oh yeah, I'm sure you are." And then she went out and called the police and got her camera, started videoing me running, and it's just, you know, that's uncalled for. You know, that's not the way we live as human beings together. We live with a respect, and we die with a punishment, and we die with just pushing people to the edge. You know, there's no reason to go out and film somebody while they're running because they're running in a designated place for free time in a park. That's just ridiculous. And there were deer there, and apparently I did scare them, but there's deer on the road, and that doesn't stop us from driving and going the places we need to go. And there's some casualties of the deer and casualties of human beings, but that's what we live with. There's other animals on this earth, and they respect us, and if we respect them. And I don't believe that I was being disrespectful by running in their territory or even approaching where they were, because we both live in the same habitat. So Alyssa's coming out. Yep. You wanna come sit next to me and join this? Just ranting. I did. I went on a run. That's what I'm ranting about.
What's your rant about?
So, let's get your perspective on the story. These are a million stairs. Come on, Collie. You're gonna need to take a seat for this one.
Okay.
I'm exhausted. I feel like I'm gonna throw up. I ran a lot. So, I'm running. I run, you know, down the street to the west, and I get to that open field where I go snowboarding sometimes, and like right at the edge of the hill down here. And I ran down the hill, and there were a bunch of deer there. And me and Collie are running alongside these deer, and this lady freaks out and she goes, "What the hell are you doing scaring those deer and chasing those deer?" And I was like, "I'm just running." So I just keep running and, you know, tell her that I'm running and whatever. So she, you know, is obviously upset by this and doesn't accept the fact that I'm just running. She thinks I'm lying to her. I'm trying to chase these deer. So I just keep running, and then she calls the police, and then she gets out her phone camera, which is, I mean, it's dark outside. There's obviously no way she can see me with this phone camera, even with her light on. You know, her little sensor in her camera, there's no way it's gonna pick up anything. But she's out there, you know, trying to film me running around. And
by the church?
No, well, yeah, across from the church in that little field area. That's so, because I'm running on this.
Area?
Yeah, the ditch area. Because I'm running on the hill, she thinks there's no way that some sane person is running up and down this really steep hill. Well, I'm just running up and down the hill so I can get more exercise. You know, I just start running down there because I was actually going to run all the way through and go down onto that main road and catch that trail over there. So I could go trail running. Well, I stopped because there was a ton of deer, and if I kept running, they would have ran into the road and probably injured a bunch of people and all that good stuff. So I stopped running, obviously. But, you know, so I didn't stop running. I just started running in a circle and going up and down the hill and, you know, side hilling it and all the stuff you do when you're running. And I was waiting till I ran a mile. I had run about, you know, a quarter of a mile when she started yelling at me. And then, you know, I just kept running till I ran a mile, and I just noticed her filming, and I was just thinking of like this area that we live in. We're trying to decide where to move to right now, and ranting about how we're trapped inside of like these walls. I mean, look, we're in this tiny staircase right now. It's so fitting. That we're just like stuck in here, and that's what I feel like. And I tried to get out, and as soon as you try to get out, somebody yells at you, you know? In the only place that's designated to actually run, well, it's not designated to run, but it's designated the free quote unquote area of our HOA. It's the only place that you can just kind of do what you want to do without disturbing the land or whatever. So, you know, long story short, I just was very aggravated by that. And now I'm ranting about it. And now you're listening. What's your thoughts?
Well, did she live in this neighborhood?
Yeah, she's the house that lives, like, so her deck overlooks, yeah, she's the end one. So she was out there. Well, no, and to her point, you know, she was out there having a pleasant evening, you know, watching the sunset from her view, and I interrupted it. But it's like,
yeah, but it's not her world.
It is.
That's not her property, so
yeah.
She can't get mad at you.
Well, I mean, she was very frustrated because she thought I was chasing these deer to be rude to these deer, and I was just running around.
Yeah.
But
well, just a misunderstanding.
It is a misunderstanding. But it's like, we can't do that to human beings. Like, we have to be, you know, willing to be nice to other people and not freak out and call the police on them when they're on a jog.
Yeah, that is a little.
But, like, think of our scenarios where we've done that. You know, you get mad at the biker on the side of the road because they're always in the middle of the road. You know, and that's frustrating to us, but for a biker, like, that's their road too. You know, they pay taxes for it and they want to be on that road. So maybe that's how we can be better from this situation, is be nice to the annoying bikers that are riding in the middle of the road, not single file.
I think don't just jump to conclusions, maybe.
Like, I have a double chin.
And I have a wrinkly forehead. No, just, I mean, maybe take a second to actually look at this scenario and the scene and be like, oh, he is just running and not actually intentionally chasing the deer, because I'm sure she would have seen that if she just stopped and paused for a second. So
where do you think I'm at fault here? Side with the lady, play devil's advocate here.
You're at fault because you chose to not run away from the deer. You chose to run toward the direction of the deer or in the deer vicinity instead of running out of it.
Okay, so let me explain that and see if I'm still at fault here. I'm already on a downward slope that's very steep. Stopping at this point is possible, but it seems irrational since I'm already halfway down the hill before I saw the deer. And I'm not watching Collie, so maybe that's where I'm at fault there, but she's a pretty responsible dog.
Oh, was Collie chasing the deer?
Apparently. So that's my fault. You're my fault, Collie. You evil deer eater.
There spine leads in the shot.
You have to back up like 2 miles to get her whole nose in there. Well.
No, she's just a grumpy old lady. Get off my grass! Get off my deer!
Are you gonna eat those deer? Huh? Alright, so what I want to know from you guys watching this video, the one or two of you that are...
Should I go down there and start running with the deer?
One, should I put firecrackers on her Porsche? It should be great. Dog poop on fire, because that'd be even better.
Collie.
Should I just tie Collie to the front door with a rainbow that says, "Here's your new dog"?
You got hair on your elbow.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Collie's shedding. Anyways, 1, retaliate. 2, apologize. 3, forget about it. 4, blog about it.
I know you're gonna do it, so I just did it.
Now, what's your guys' solution? What do you think?
I would just forget about it.
Or
Obviously, she doesn't know the situation. You didn't mean any harm, so there's no point in...
But do I tell her the situation?
No. Because then you just have to talk to her and deal with explaining yourself to a lady that doesn't believe you.
What if she's super nice?
Then she's super nice.
What if I made her cookies?
No, it's a waste of cookies.
Alright, what should I do?